Attorney General Jeff Sessions has formally requested the remaining 46 U.S. attorneys appointed by President Obama to tender their resignation to ensure a uniform transition. Joining me right now, former Department of Justice official Thomas Dupree. Thomas, good to have you here. Is this unusual?
Trish, the only unusual thing here, frankly, is that it took them long enough to do it. This is something that all presidents do. The president is entitled to fill out his administration, including the top prosecutors in the Justice Department, with people of his own choosing. These are people who are going to be faithful to the president's law enforcement agenda, who are going to put his priorities into action. And so I think the president, the attorney general, were well within their rights to do this. And look, this is something that all the prior presidents have done.
All right, so how does this help him? Once he's able to stack the deck with his own people, Thomas, what will that mean?
Well, I guess first I would probably quarrel with the idea of stacking the deck. I think it's a question of putting into place people who are going to be true to these administration's law enforcement priorities. I think that in the interim, while they're awaiting the new arrivals of the new U.S. attorneys, they're going to have career prosecutors who are running these offices to ensure that there are no gaps or lapses in ongoing investigations. So this is how it works under our Constitution.
Right, but
and
again,
under our system.
You're going to get your own people there. They're going to uphold your own values. So, if San Francisco really wants to get serious about this whole sanctuary city thing, might they run into a few more troubles if, the folks in California, put there by President Trump, are more sympathetic to Trump's side of things than San Francisco's?
Well, I think that the people that the administration is going to put in are obviously going to be very supportive of the president's approach to law enforcement and immigration generally, and that includes sanctuary cities. Look, a lot of times there are disputes, there are conflicts, there's disharmony between federal law enforcement and something that state politicians might want to enact themselves. But again, that's all accounted for in our system, that there's always a natural tension, and I suspect at the end of today that at the end of the day, the folks will get together and work out the right approach.
All right, let me turn to another big story right now, and that's whether or not outside counsel is needed here. There's talk that Sessions is going to open up an investigation into the Obama administration's Justice Department. Do you think this will move forward, and what might that look like?
Well, I heard the Attorney General's comments the other day, and it seemed to me he struck exactly the right note, which is to say he's not ruling anything in, he's not ruling anything out, but instead he's going to go where the evidence takes him. If in the course of investigating what happened under the Obama administration, they uncover evidence of criminal wrongdoing, then the Attorney General said a special counsel might well be warranted. At the same time, look, it's common knowledge that the prior administration, in my view at least, unjustifiably politicized a lot of these federal agencies. I think the IRS was Exhibit A. At the same time, I don't think anyone's interested in refighting old battles. The voters have already spoken. They clearly weren't supportive of what happened under the prior administration.
But in light of these accusations that the president has made regarding wiretapping at Trump Tower, might it be especially important to be investigating the Justice Department?
Well, I think the first thing that's going to happen is there's going to be an investigation carried out on the Hill. And that, to me, makes all the sense in the world, that you get the relevant people in, they can testify, they can meet with congressional staff, congressional investigators, and cast a broad spotlight. Look, we've had charges and counter-charges, many of them anonymous, firing back and forth over the last few weeks, and I can't think of a better outcome than to put a broad spotlight on this whole thing. Was there wiretapping? Who ordered it? Why was it done? And let's just get the bottom of it. And
it would be good to get some answers. For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Thomas, good to see you. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Trish.
All right.